like list, we have a few more data collection objects. So tuple, sets, dictionary, and string also one type of. So we have seen many things. So we will see now. Today we are going to see what is tuple. Already we have seen about a little bit about tuple, but today we are going to see what are the different operations, different functions we can use tuple. Why we are seeing all the things is whenever you are doing any data in coding, so these are the objects are very important. Okay, that is the main thing. Okay, so that's why we are seeing these kind of data collection object, data structures. So, we know about tuple. Okay, this similar to we have already seen enough about list. Okay, similar to list, tuple. Okay, everything is similar. Only few difference. What are the few difference? List, we can store data with comma separated values within a square bracket, but here braces with comma separated values. Okay, this is called tuple. Here you can change items, but here you can't change any values. Okay, that is called mutable. This one is immutable. Otherwise both are same. This is also ordered, so it has some index. This is also some orders, it has some index. Okay, tuple can contain any set of object. List also like that. Okay, only difference is square bracket with comma separated values and braces with comma separated values. That is called tuple. One is mutable, another one is immutable. Okay, whenever you are handling, suppose if you have a handle data, but you should not allow user to not allow developer should not edit. That means you can use tuple object. How to create tuple? How to create tuple? So you can create a tuple like this. Okay, you can just assign this object. If you assign this kind of values, the t will be automatically converted because dynamically based on the values the variable is getting typed. Okay, that is one of the main features in Python. So we can do like this. So it allows mixed data types, doesn't matter. Okay, you can create empty tuple like this. Okay, you can create a empty tuple, a tuple without parentheses. So the main features, because other list, you should specify the square bracket. Without square bracket it won't consider as a list, but here you don't need to specify braces. Okay, what would if you assign anything with a comma separated without parentheses, its a type is a tuple. Okay, and if you specify these are the example. Okay, if you specify anything with only one value with a comma separated, that is also tuple. uh, but if you give any values without comma, that's assign. If you assign anything, this is not a tuple, because tuple means it should have some comma separator. Okay, this one is a index, sorry, integer. So how to create a tuple? If you have any other objects you want to convert into tuple, just use the tuple function. That's it. Tuple function. If you use the data, we have seen in data conversion, right? Or how to convert one type to another type. Similar to, we have a list of object. If you want to create a tuple, you can just use tuple function. That's it. Okay. Here string is getting converted into tuple. Okay. Already we have seen all the things in a list. Okay, this same will be getting applied in a tuple also. Nested tuples, if you have a tuples more than once, if you have a tuple, okay, you have a some data like this. Okay, employees data, employees having more than one phone number, right? So you have employee name here, name, age, 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 And here you have another object, mail id, office mail id, personal mail id. Okay, this one is tuple of tuple. It comes like this. In some scenarios we can use this one. Okay, this tuple packing and packing. You have a list of items in the tuple. You want to assign all the things into some other variables, so you can do this one. Okay, here all the items is getting packed into tuple. Here if you assign the tuple to like this, okay, all the items again unpacked. Okay, so you can do like this. Items is getting assigned to variable, that is called unpacking. In tuple it is possible. You can try with this. These are the same features you can try with the list. So you can play like that. Okay, okay, only difference when it is throwing error, because you have four items, but you have only two variables. While unpacking it shows error. Okay, here you have a three items, but you are assigning to four variables at the time. While unpacking it shows error. Just learn about what are the things we can do. Okay, suppose in normal I assign one business case. Okay, you have two items. Okay, you have age, and age is equal to 30, and mm, salary around 20k. Okay, you want swap this values to here without giving any temporary variable. What normally will do, create a one more variable, assign this variable. Okay, like this sum x, so assign this one. After that assign this one to here, the temporary variable. So normally we do swapping like this, right? But here in tuple you can swap directly. A is equal to 1, b is equal to 99. We want to swap a, the values between a and b directly. If you assign like this, these values are getting swapped. Okay, and with the, so you can assign directly. Here we are having a domain name EasyLearn@Pro. We are doing split in the sense getting split based on this some special character. EasyLearn@Pro at, we are splitting with that character. So two variables is getting created. We can assign directly username and domain. Okay, it is getting printed like this. So these are the things we can do with the tuple. How to access tuple items? So tuple is ordered. Okay, ordered means it has index. You can access with the index values. It has a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 index values. So you can access with it. Okay, this is a positive index. Like this, we have a negative index. Negative index means to start with at the end. Okay, it has a -1, -2, -3 like this. Okay, so backward from end to beginning. It comes with -1, -2 like this. Okay, you can access both the things. You can mix with it both the things. Okay, start value this one and end values. For slicing it will be already we have seen. Okay, slicing, tuple slicing. If you want to split out some tuple inside some subs, we have to, if you want to split that tuple, okay, you can use slicing operator. Okay, slicing operator, you have to specify which index you want to start, which index you have to finish. Okay, start and end you have to specify. Okay, change tuple item. Is it possible? Are we able to change the tuple items? It's not possible because tuple is immutable. Okay, so keep remember, list is mutable, tuple is immutable. So you can't change. So you can play with it. Okay, all the examples, whatever I share the code, right? You have to play with it. You have to write the code and play. You whatever you think, right? Just apply and replay. Nothing. Okay, so you can simply play and understand what is it. If it throws any error, it will be easily understandable. So you can correct based on the error. Okay. So how to delete tuple? You can't change the item in the tuple, but you can delete the entire tuple. Okay, just use the del keyword for deletion, deleting the object. Okay, so you can do. So how to concatenate? If you have a more than one tuple, how to concatenate? Just use plus operator. If you want to replicate, you can use the star operator. Okay, the value is getting replicated. So here we are having a two tuple just using plus operator. Okay, as the tuple is getting added. So here if you want to replicate, you can use this kind of keyword. This is special cases only. Okay, normally concatenate in the real business case, chances are there to use, but this one is not needed. So how to measure length? We have a list of items. Always it's required to measure length. If you use any object, if you are using any collection of, if values are more than one, you can use length. Okay, length. So one more operator we are checking, right, whether items is there or not. This is also real time business cases. Frequently we are using. We have to check whether this item, employee one, employee is there in the tuple or not. Okay, we have a list of employees. We have, if you want to check, we can use this in operator. Okay, so we can check directly, we can check. Okay, instead of normally what people think is they are checking iterate all the elements. This one is suppose employee name, so employee same name is a blue, so we have to check red is a blue, green is a blue. Normally at the last item only shows the error. We are checking the, we have to use for loop. Instead of that, you can use directly in and not in operator directly. Okay, already in operator section, right, we have seen this one, but in every example, every type we are having one example. Go through this one, how to check whether it is there. Check if item is exist or not, we can check with in and not in operator. How to iterate? How to iterate? You can simply use for loop. Already we have seen for loop. Okay, you can use tuple. Each item is getting iterated based on business logic. You can apply. Okay, sorting. How to sort? So always is a list of items, right? If it is a so we have to sort it. Okay, so we have a list of, we have sorted. Sorted is a Python function. Okay, we can use sorted function. Okay, sorted, if you pass a tuple, it will be getting sorted. Okay, so in list what we have seen, list dot sort, something we have seen. Okay, the list has inbuilt sort function, but inside sort what happens is it will be getting replaced with what is the minimum values comes first, and after that based on the because inbuilt inside that sort function what happens is it compare all the values, and based on that values if it is a ascending, start with small values and keep increasing the values. Okay, starting functions normally works like that. Okay, but here it doesn't have any it's a immutable, so you can't assign anything here, right? What you can use, we have a list function. Okay, in sort you can do it in a two ways. One is you can directly use Python built-in function, otherwise you have to convert the tuple object into list. Okay, then you can apply sort. After getting sorted, so you can reverse it back to tuple. Okay, so if you see these lines you can understand. Okay, so you can do like this. Okay, either you can use Python inbuilt sort function, or you can convert it into list and you can apply sort. After that, reverse it back to tuple. That's it. So all these built-in functions. Okay, so already we have seen these functions in list. The same will be getting applied here also. Okay, if you go through the list, you can try with all the list whatever we have seen in list, right? You can apply with the tuple. Only thing is we have to change the tuple. That's it. Instead of list, just pass a tuple. Everything will be applied. Okay, next thing is set. What is the set? Okay, is a one kind of data collection of unique items. Okay, already in list tuples you can store multiple data, different data, but here it is a unique items. Okay, always curly braces, start and end with curly braces, and values are comma separated. Okay, comma separated. That's it. Here doesn't have any index. is an unordered collection, doesn't have any index values. Okay, items are unique. It doesn't allow duplicate values. It's unindexed. Okay, unindexed, so unordered. Sets are changeable, mutable. You can change the values. Okay, so you will see some of the operation sets quickly. Okay. Create set. How to create a set? Okay, set. You can create a set like this. Mixed data types. Okay, set of mixed data. Just a second. Unique item. Okay, it allows mixed data types also. Okay, sorry. So normally mixed data, because normally we assign that object directly. Okay, and here we are having one duplicate values, but it doesn't allow duplicate values. Okay, sets itself mutable, changeable, but it cannot contain mutable object. Sets, entire sets is mutable, but it cannot contain mutable object. Here we inside set we have a one. This is a one item, one item. This whole thing is one item. This one is one item. Okay. Here what we have seen is, here this one is, what is this? It's a tuple or list? Tuple. So we have tuple here. Okay. We have tuple. This one is tuple. Tuple is immutable. Immutable. So that's why it doesn't have any issues. Set accept immutable object, but it cannot contain mutable object. Okay. Here it doesn't have any issues. Okay. Just print the values. But if you assign unhashable type list is a mutable, but it cannot contain mutable object inside. Okay, mutable object is the main thing. So it other than that it works fine. How to create a stress? Okay, set function is there, similar to other things. Okay, doesn't matter. So we can put a range function in the. Okay, play with it. Okay, each and every line is very important. These are the things are very basic. If you play with each line, you can master on it. Okay, if you see any big case studies and any coding Python, because a lot of codings are available in the internet. Okay. Just a second. Who is administrator? Someone joined with the name of administrator. That's why I removed it. Okay, a range. Okay, you can create a range, a continuous number. How to create a, already we have seen how to create a list into the set. Okay, everything is already we have seen. And here, how to add items to a set. So you can simply use add function. Okay, so item is getting added. Okay, so here, but it's unordered. Okay, randomly is getting added. You can't specify. Okay, you can't specify the places. So you can add items with the add function. If you want to add multiple items, you can use update method. Okay, update. If you pass the list of items, it's getting added here. Okay, so in two ways you can add function. You can add only one items through add function. If you want to multiple items, you can use update function. So how to remove items from the set? because compared to other things, here it doesn't have any index. So without index so you should use the item value. Based on that, you can remove. It doesn't have any index. Okay, how to remove items? Okay, you can use the remove function or discard function. So you can use remove or discard. What are the difference? Both methods are work at exactly the same. Only difference is if item is not specified, remove method will throw error, but discard method doesn't throw anything. Okay, if you find if you remove anything, right? If item is not there, it shows the error in remove, but discard doesn't throw error, which is the good practice. Discard, because if item is not there, it doesn't show any error. Okay, that is the method. So another method, if you want to, in many places you can use a pop. Pop means method removes randomly. Okay, because in this set, you pop remove random item, but if it is ordered, so you can specify the index value here, but here doesn't have any index. Okay, it is getting removed. If you want to clear entire items, you can use a clear. Okay, for remove items, we have seen four different things: the remove, discard, pop, and clear. So set size, you can use length. With that length function, you can use iterate through, similar to iterate. If you want to use a for loop for item, you can use a collection object. Okay, you know the syntax, right? In for val in any collection object. So whether it any data structure, data collection object, whether it is a list, tuple, or set, comes here. Okay, simple. So we can we can check whether an item is there through in or not in operator. Okay, this is a special case set. We have some operation, set operation. Okay, already we have seen in our schooling days. So we have some Venn diagram. This one is a set A, set B. It has some collection. Okay, this one is having some collection. Okay, okay. This we have this is a set diagram. We have a two set A and B. So between this set we can do some operation. A union B. Okay. A union B. It combines to the things it lists out. Okay. And A intersection B, it will list only the common item. So those kind of operations is available in set. So we can do this one here. We have a set of items A and B. We can do this operation A union B. It's combined to both the sets and list out. Okay, unique items. So intersection. So in by operator we can do like this, but in codings you can use A dot intersection B. Okay, the common items will be getting listed. What are the difference? Okay, so A minus B, you can set the difference. What are the different items are there in A? It listed only one. It gives A dot difference B means it gives difference to different items what A has. But you should get all the items. You can use symmetric difference. Okay, it will give different values. One value, one set doesn't have those items. Okay, so you can get all the different items like this. You can use. Okay, in set we have one type is a frozen set. Okay, frozen set. Okay, can I use? Sorry, just now is empty tuple. Okay, just a second. Just now I have seen your questions. Is empty tuple to take user inputs? Okay, you can create a tuple. Yes. Okay. After that, you can't change. That is the main thing. Okay, you can't change the value. That is called immutable. Can I use list inside tuple? Yeah, you can use list inside tuple. Yes, list is tuple is immutable. Yeah, you can use. Good question. Okay, so whatever you have questions, right? Try yourself. Okay, and thanks for asking here. Okay, you can play with it. Okay, whatever. Good question. So we have seen four items, right? Of four different things: list, tuple, set. Okay, this one is mutable. This one is immutable. Mutable. Set also unordered but mutable. But here, like in tuple, like immutable, we have a frozen set. Okay, keep remember like this. We have a mutable and immutable object. One is a list, another one is a tuple. Similar to list without unordered, without ordered, without any index, we have a set. Similar to set in immutable, we have a frozen set. Okay, frozen set, but only immutable. Similar, everything is similar to set, but here it's immutable. Everything is same. Okay, how to set? You cannot add or remove items. It shows error. That is immutable. You can't do any changes. You can't add, you can't remove. Otherwise, everything min, max, sorted. So you can do whatever. The basic functions we have seen in a tuple and list. All the things you can do here also. So we have seen list, tuple, set, and frozen set. Okay. So after sharing all this code, right, go through it and play with it, because whenever you are handling any object, any data, okay, without these things you can't do it. Okay, these are the things are basic. Okay, and over that, whatever you are going to see the packages, right, numpy, panda, so many python packages are available. All the packages inbuilt, they are using these kind of objects. Okay, so the very base thing. Okay, next object is dictionary, very powerful object. Okay, dictionary object. So whatever we have seen till now is every items are very single, right, simple. Okay, it has some values like this. Okay, similar to set. What is a set? It has a items, some values, but instead of simple items we have a key and value pair with the colon, key and value. All items are like this, key and value. That is called dictionary. Why it is powerful in Python? Dictionary is very powerful because inbuilt it has hashing algorithm, hash maps. Okay, hashing algorithm. Whenever you are assigning any values to the dictionary, it goes to hash function, hash algorithm. Go to particular how it is getting stored. It's a bucket on bucket. The value is getting stored. Okay, if you find any values, right, easily pass through hash algorithm. Based on the output, it goes direct bucket and get the values. What are the values? Based on from that values it will search. Okay, but if you are using a tuple list, right, it you should iterate all the items one by one. Then only our business cases, we have 100 employees. In your object you have 100 employees name. Okay, so employees names are there. So you want to find one employee is there or not, you have to use in not in operator. Inbuilt in not in operator, what it will do, it will iterate all the items and find whether it is there or not. Okay, or otherwise you have to use for loop, you have to check manually. Okay, but Python, what it will happens here is, it goes whenever you are storing a dictionary object, right, it goes to hash algorithm, create a one bucket for this items and store the values. Okay, if next, if pass through passing a next item, right, it goes to the same. If it is out, the hash function has some output. Okay, output is same for this bucket having some value, right, it goes to this bucket and save values. If next items pass through it, create a output is creating new bucket, it creates here values getting stored. Anyway, the 100 names is getting stored only few buckets, or five or 10. Okay, uh, just assume 5 or 10 buckets, five buckets. Okay, if the 10 values are getting stored within a 5 buckets. Okay, if you want to search any new employee's name, you are passing. So you have to check whether it is a this name there or not. You are passing. You are checking what happens in build. It pass as function, it creates some output. This output belongs to this bucket, means directly Vinod goes here and check values whether it is there or not. Okay. So performance wise, it's faster than other data object. That is the main thing. Okay. It's a very powerful one. So all languages having dictionary object for data collection. Here also Python also having this one. Okay. So how to create? So keep remember, we are having each item is getting stored with key and value pair. Okay, key and value pair. So like this is getting stored. How to create a dictionary object? You have to use a dictionary function. Okay, either you can use a dictionary function, or you can directly create the previous line of code we have seen, right? You can directly create. Here we have a list. List, inside list we have a tuple. List of tuple. So directly if you assign a dictionary function, what happens here? The list is getting converted into dictionary. Okay, but if you have a tuple key and value, it's getting converted like this. Okay, here you can or one homework is, you just assign list items alone, what you can see what it will happen. Just assign some list item, just try to create it. You have to practice like this. Okay, here just only list items. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not, cannot convert dictionary. Okay, because it doesn't have any key and value. Okay, so you have to specify like a tuple. This one is gives key and value directly. Okay, so dictionary means key and value. Okay, here we are having a name, age, job. Okay, so we are creating directly, you can assign values like this. Okay, it creates this kind of dictionary object. So how to create a dictionary object? What are the different ways to create? We have a keys and values. You can directly creating dictionary object through zip. Zip means it getting assigned like this. Zip. So zip is a Python inbuilt function. Through dictionary, if you assign, if you have a key and value, list, everything is a list. If you have a keys and values, you can create like this. You have a keys, but you should assign some default values to all the keys. How to create that one? You can create in this way. So different ways you can create. Okay, default values. The default values is getting assigned to all the keys. You have only keys and assigning default values to all the keys. Okay, keys must be unique. This is one thing. And key must be immutable object, not a mutable one. If it is a mutable, it shows the error. So keys must be, because the keys must be unique. You should not change the key. If the keys is not changeable, means immutable. So keys, not values, key, only key. Okay, value can be any type. So only keys, we have seen the condition of keys, right? Values can be any type. You can assign any values. Okay. So how to access dictionary items? This is the main thing. Here we don't have any index values. Okay. How to create? Because only thing is we have a key here. Based on the key, we can get the values. Okay. Here we have a name, age, job. Okay. If you want to get any values, you can just instead of index, you can use the key value. Key. What key name, right? You can get it. Okay. Here salary doesn't have that one. If you access that one, what it shows the error because salary is not there. That's why. So if you want to avoid error, you can use dictionary dot get some get function. Dictionary has some inbuilt get function. You can use that one. Even though if it doesn't have any values, it shows doesn't show any error. It gives none if it is not there. How to add update items? Okay, add and update items. How to add? Okay, just you don't need to specify anything to add. Just give the values like this, like index v specified. It is getting updated. Everything is based on the key name. Okay, so if you want to do anything with dictionary, you should use key. That's it. If you want to assign any new, just create dictionary of some dictionary of a dictionary of, you can add it. Okay, it's getting added here. How to merge two dictionaries? So you have a two different setup, two companies employees. We want to merge it means directly you can use update. So earlier also we have seen update. Okay. So here name, age. Okay. No, not like this. Scenario is you have employees details one table, employees detail, one table is employee salary. You want to merge it. Okay, you can do this. Okay. D1 dot update D2. Here name, age is getting repeated here. We will see what happens. Okay, job and city, email. Okay, we want to merge it to dictionary. Okay, so after merging, we are getting some output. It has age 30. What happens is the recent one will be getting overridden. Got it? The latest one. This is the old one. D2 is the latest one. Update. D2 is getting applied. Change D1 values. This is the latest. Recent value is getting updated. Remove items. How to remove items? We can use pop. So here, what is the, if you want to remove age, you can use, everything is a key based. So you can use it. Okay. So after removing it, the pop feature is, so it will give the values. What are the values? What values are getting removed, right? It gives the result. So you can save it or use it for general purpose. Or otherwise you can use a del. If you don't need, because del doesn't return anything. Okay, just removed it. If you want to get the removed values, you can use pop. Otherwise you can use del. Pop items removed last value. Okay, it's a random one. Pop items, pop ins are randomly getting. Who is administrator? Someone is there. Okay, we have seen a pop item del and a clear. Clear is a removing all items. Okay, because frequently chances are there to use list items. So okay, go through all the functionalities whatever we are giving in the coding section. So we want to get out all only keys. You can use a dictionary dot keys, dictionary dot values, or dictionary dot items. Okay, so list inside that it will be getting a tuple key and value pair. Okay, key and value pair. This one. Okay. So you can use a dictionary has inbuilt functions, a list of keys, values, and items. Okay. So you can this ones all the things is getting converted into list again. Okay. Iterate through dictionary. How to iterate? You can use a for. Okay. For x in. Okay. Similar to that. Values there or not. You can use in operator. Okay. So find dictionary length. We can use a length function. So similar to that, all the functionalities we have in building functions in dictionary. Okay, we have seen list, tuple, set, frozen set, and dictionary. Next thing is comprehension. What is comprehension? Okay, this is not a comprehension is not a new collection of this. Comprehension is a compact way of creating Python data structure. So what we have seen is if you want to write any for loop, you have to write like this. Okay, line by line. Okay, for here, right? So in a smart way, in a compact way, we can create. Okay, in single line, you can write uh, entire business logic. Okay, that is called comprehension. And for data structure, we have a comprehension. Okay, so you can combine loops and conditional test. Okay, if you want to write anything, so we will see in example. Okay, that is called comprehension. How to create a compact way of Python code. Okay, compact way. Okay, here we are creating a list object. So we have a empty list. We are appending all the values. One way. Another way is you can create a empty list just append in for loop. Okay. So both the way you can do. Okay. Instead of this, in compact way in the sense. Okay. Here there is some expression. Okay. First thing is we have a for loop. For the similar to x in range 5. So range 5 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, this is called range 5. We are having a range of values from because only have a one value. So start with 0, skip sizes 1, skip step size 1. So that's why range values getting created. For okay, this one is for. After that, we are giving the expression below, right? Instead of below, before the that for we have to give specify the expression here like this. Okay, so you see the difference, right? The same function we are using two lines, but here in single line we are creating this function. This is called comprehension. Okay, the compact way. First is for loop for iteration, then once we have to specify the expression. What are the expressions this needs? Okay, that's it. Okay, we can create it in a first way is a normal, just append one by one. Next thing is we are using for loop for iteration. Okay, for iteration. In third, what we have seen is in through comprehension in a compact way we have created the same functionality. Okay, so we have various examples. Go through it. Okay, how to create a simple. You should remember these things. For iteration, before that we are having expression. So normally in expression comes below the for iteration. Okay, but here before the for iteration we are having the expression. Okay, here remember this one. Here we are putting square bracket in the both ends because in after the result is getting append in the list. That's why. So that is called comprehension. So we are having a various example for this comprehension. Go through it. Okay. Okay. So in comprehension, if you want to check here, okay, this one is a normal function. We have a some list. Okay. So we are checking each items. If greater than 0, then only we are creating a new list. Okay, this list, a new list is getting appended here. Okay, our business logic is here. Okay, in this example, we have for loop. First thing is over, done. Okay, this one is done. Next thing is expression. We are just doing some expression. This thing is over. Next thing is expression. This is also over. This is also over. Done. So in this normal flow, we are checking some condition if clause. So you have to specify if clause at the end. Okay. So comprehension you can do like this with if clause. The previous one without if clause we have seen. Now we are seeing with if clause. Okay, the same logic is without comprehensions we are doing here. With comprehensions we are doing it in single line for loop and if clause. After executing for loop, it goes to if clause. If it is getting passed, expression. First thing is getting executed this one. Second, checking if clause. Third is expression. Okay. Execute this one and then go to if clause. If it is passed, go to expression. These three lines is getting created in a single line, compact line. That is, this is called comprehension. So nested list comprehension. How to create a nested list? We are having expression, right? The expression it has one more comprehension. This is the expression. We are setting one more comprehension. That is called nested list comprehension. Okay. So everything is similar. Instead of the expression, we are using one more comprehension. It has a comprehension and for iteration. Again, that is called nested comprehension. This is the for numbers in. Okay. The entire thing is expression. Expression creating one more for iteration and expression. Okay. If you see now, it will be getting. You will be getting a little confusion. Okay. Go through it line by line. Okay. What it says because I am sharing with this example. So if you go through the like this diagram, right, you can easily understand. Okay. This is already I have given some homework, right? Every examples I asked you to write those program. Okay. I didn't get any result, any update from you. Okay. Once you done, just in that's why I enabled the Telegram group. Okay. Whatever I have given, right? Once it is done from your end, just type done. What is homework? Okay. Done this one like this. Okay. Just send a message. Okay. It will be. I can note it down because I can support further. Okay. In future, if you have any questions, without going these homeworks or coding, right? If you have any doubt, it will be because at the time if I say anything, it's difficult to understand for you. That's why I'm asking you simple homeworks. Okay, here what the homework is. Okay, already I have code. Only thing is you have to type and understand the understand line by line. That is the main thing. Okay, I'm not giving you to explore any new thing. Okay, so here we are having a matrix. Through comprehension, what we are doing is just changing row to okay transpose in the sense matrix. The row will be column will be assigned to rows. Okay, rows and columns vice versa, it will be getting changed. That is called matrix. In single line we can do all the things. Think about it. If you want to do it in programming, how many lines you have to write? Think about it. Okay, but in single lines we can do these things. Matrix transpose. That is the power of comprehension. So we can do all collection object for this comprehension. So we have seen a list. Okay, in list what are the comprehension? The similar way we can do it a dictionary. Okay, so go through this code. Okay, for dictionary, how to create a comprehension with the dictionary objects. So strings also the sequence of characters also collection object. Okay, so we can use string. Already we have seen string. Okay, you can create a string like this, single quotes or double quotes. You can access the string, or if you want to create a multiple line string, you can create this one, triple single quote or triple double quote. How to create a string, how to access, everything is same, index based. Then the strings also index based. Start with 0, minus negative index means end with start at backward. You have to start -1 like this. Slicing string, everything. Now you are familiar with this concept, slicing concept and the index based concept. Okay, how to modify strings? Strings is immutable, so you can't assign or change anything in the string, but you can remove entire string, create a new string. Okay, or you use with that slicing and you can create the new string. Okay, you can create like this, but you can't change any item inside the string. So string concatenations, all the things we have seen already. Okay, so replication. Okay, the important concept. If you want to replace, if you want to replace, okay, so you can create a replace. The new string is getting created. Okay, so what happens here is replace and assign to the new string, because already we have seen the string is immutable. You can't change. It's created in the new string after replacing it. Okay, replace. We are finding word. The word is getting replaced with the new word. That is called replacement. Split. If you want to split based on the character, it will split the string. Okay, split the string. So it is creating it's getting a new list is getting created after splitting. So after splitting, if you want to join, right, you can use this kind of which character you want to join. Okay. If you don't specify anything, I with join with the space. That's it. These are the things that are very important because if you use any string, because the sentiment analysis. Okay, sentiment analysis in a sense. If any companies want to release any product, they want to know about the product's features, right? They are checking. Normally, what they do is they check social media, how people talk about this. They are checking the customer feedback. What are the feedback they are giving? So they analyze the feedback. Okay, from that they are checking whether it is a positive or negative feedback. So they have a millions of feedback. Human cannot read all the feedback. They can't decide. It will take time. Okay, for that we have sentiment analysis in machine learning or artificial intelligence. Through that sentiment analysis, we have to handle the entire thing as text. Okay, if a customer in Amazon, if you go through any products, right, you are having a huge comments, right? Through that command, our machine will read that command, and if you give those command list, right, a command, right, everything is a string based. Okay, everything is a text based. We have to handle all the things. For that, you have to use this string operation. What are the things? Okay, string case conversion. If you want to create a lower case, uppercase, capitalize, swap case, you can do like various. Okay, case conversion, you can do it easily. We are checking whether it is a string is there or substring in or not in operator. You can use to find whether it is there or not. Okay, iterate through string. So iteration, simple for iteration we can use for, okay, in operator. So everything is a similar. Okay, whatever we have. Okay, this is the main thing I want to. Here we are open. Okay, we are open. Here also we are having some single letter, single quote. Here I said wow, so double quote. Okay, so if you want to escape a single quote, and if you have a two double quote at the end, if you can use single quote in between the line. If you have a single quote at the end, you can use double quote. So we have example. So we are seeing example like this. Okay, you can directly use. But here you have a double quote at the end. The same we have to use double quote in the middle also. Our string is like this. How to handle this one? Here you have to normally what happens without this escape sequence without this what happens? It shows there are invalid index because string is this one is a string, this one is another string. Okay, it won't consider this one. So you have to type like this. You should use escape sequence like this backslash. Okay. So you what interpreter? The interpreter will understand this one is part of text. Okay, that's why it won't disturb. Okay, here if you want to type two lines, you can use /n new line. /t means tab space. It gives some space. Okay, /t tab. /n means goes to new line. Okay, so like this we have some backslash some sequence. You can use various /n/r. You can try with it. Okay, normally we in our real system we use tab new line character. That's it. Okay, here simple case. We are having one string. It has a path, some text path. Okay, normally text path will be text path. C:/n/t /n. What interpreter will understand /n means it goes to next line. Okay, that's why type C:/, and /n. That's why it goes to next line. EW is getting printed here. /t tab, some tab space is here. Okay, how Python interpreter will understand? You see it here, right? Okay, but we should not. But our because you as a human we know, right? So this one is the entire thing is some path of a text path, some file path. But the interpreter will read like this. So we should not allow. At the time you can use a raw. This one is a raw. Okay. So Python interpreter will print all the entire thing. Will take the entire path because it is specific at the beginning or means it's a raw text. It will take it won't disturb the line. Okay. Interpret like this you can use it. Yes, these things are very simple, but people will be getting confused for this basic. String format, if you want to format a string, right, you can use the string format. Okay, percentage string, percentage digit. Okay, so it's getting replaced. So string and digit is getting replaced. Format, you can use a format is 0 to 1. Wherever you are putting 0, right, it goes to 0th value, and index 1 it goes here. You can specify n number of parameters, or otherwise you can use string. It has some name, right? You can assign directly. Okay, string format. So various string formatting we can use while handling the string. Okay, now if you go through all the codings, right, you will become intermediate level. You will become an intermediate level for handling the list. How to handle list? How to handle tuple? How to handle set? How to handle dictionary? How to handle strings? Okay, we have seen all these things. And comprehension. What are the comprehension? How to handle? How to write comprehension code? Compact way of code, compact way. So handling the list and stuff. Okay. I will share all this coding and all the things. The recordings will be available in Easy Learn Pro. I will share the link. Register yourself, okay? Because it is our portal. Register yourself. I will share the link after processing all the recordings. Today's recording, I will share the content, everything there. So if you register, you will access, okay, for next 1 year. If you are, do you have any question on this? Tomorrow we will see functions, or because we have functions type, how to handle the function. So we will see tomorrow. Okay, we will cover entire thing tomorrow. Functions. Next week we will see about analytics part now. Before that, go through each and every line, understand. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask me. Okay, I'm ready to help you. Any questions, guys? Okay, whoever still you have a doubt how to start, weekdays I will set it up one batch. Okay, now one or few people interested to join. If you are interested to attend again, let me know. Okay, because my intention is I want to give knowledge, whatever I learned. I know about the Python, right? Because my main profession is data scientist. Okay, I am handling projects in machine learning, model building, anything. Python programming is very small part. That only whatever we have seen, right? Go through that coding, it's enough to go through the if to become a data scientist or machine learning profession. Okay, in artificial intelligence. Okay, nowadays everyone talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning. People afraid about programming part, afraid about mathematics skill. They are thinking we should know more about it. One simple, whatever we have learned in schooling and our college, right? Probability and statistics. Simple thing. Only thing is we have to again we have to go through the content. What relearning. Okay, simple. It's not a complicated one. Okay, people always thinking it's a complicated. Data science means we have to handle simple. We have a number of case studies. If you go through all the coding case studies, you will become, you can handle, you can create your own model. Okay, step by step. For those, we have three skills are required for data science. One is programming. Just again. One is programming skill, Python or R. Another one is maths, like a probabilities, and that is the basic one, probability, statistics, and linear, and even and even without this you can start with. Okay, next thing is domain. So if you have anyone or if you don't have anything, doesn't matter. Okay, definitely we have gone through all maths related skills, maths related, the probability statistics in our schooling. Okay, those things are enough to start with this data science. Programming, whatever we have gone through the 5 days workshop, right? 5 days program, more than enough. All the things, whatever we have gone through, we are going through these 5 days, right? It's enough for programming. Whenever you are going to case studies, all the programming, we have some case studies. If you go through the case studies, it will be more than enough. You will become a data scientist. Domain, people already, if you are working profession anyway, you are part of some domain, either marketing or sales or any I think, I hope everyone should part of any domain. If you are studying, you are so you can go through various domains anyway. Any two skills are enough. If you in real time, what happen is, if your client gives some data, right, you have to work with them, what they are, you have to learn from them all the domain knowledge. Okay, if you go through the case studies, you can understand what is the domain, how it works. If you are an experienced person, if you are working in any field, right, either it is a finance or any sales or any IT guy. Anyway, you are working with some clients, right? You know the about domain. What are the domain they are? What are the data they have, right? You are familiar with the domain. Okay, don't bother about that domain. Already you are 50% you know about the programming, Python programming. Okay, for basic programming, it's enough. Okay, as a data scientist, we need only little programming knowledge. Okay, not more than not like a IT guy they are building from A to Z, right? We don't need that kind of programming knowledge. Data scientist or machine learning. Okay, someone study. Okay, what tool and programming knowledge we need to know? What tools? Okay, Jupyter Notebook. I in first day I shared about right how to install Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is enough. Okay, for handling. Already I showed the case studies, right? How to create a data, how to explore data. We have a number of case studies. Okay, how to explore data and okay, like this we have many case studies. Whatever we have seen, right? Simple basic program, everything is getting applied. This one is related to Python packages. Okay. So yeah, the next week I will explain about the what are the packages that are required for database. Only 3 or 4 packages. Okay, that is enough. After that, you have to practice yourself. Okay. So this Jupyter notebook is more than enough. Okay.